Hi, I'm Angi, and this is already part 3 of my Make Your Chocolate Bonbons from Scratch series. So if you haven't watched video 1 and 2, I have a link down in the description below. Maybe watch it first. In part 1 and 2, we successfully made our chocolate, and so today we're going to color our molds and create the shells. During this video, I'm mentioning a lot of other videos that might be helpful to you. Like, for example, how I temper my chocolate with more details, or how to use colored cocoa butter. So I have a list in the description below with all of those videos that could be helpful to you as well. And maybe really quickly about coloring your molds. There are so many ways to coloring it. Today I decided to use some sponges, but obviously if you have an airbrush, if you want to use your finger, just go in there and have fun. Enough talking, let's do it. Before we start designing, I briefly want to talk about molds here. So I'm using a polycarbonate mold. You can use silicone molds, but they will just not give this really nice, shiny and glossy finish. So that's why I really like to use these, and those are really sturdy. I have them for years now. I don't put them into the dishwasher. If you want to do that, make sure that the heat is on the lowest setting, because otherwise you will destroy your mold. And don't use soap, because soap will leave a residue inside of the cavity and your bonbons will not become as shiny. What I like to do is, if my mold is like super covered in chocolate everywhere, I like to use a little bit of warm water and just wash it up. And then I like to use a microcloth and just go in there. And I polish every cavity twice. And so with every use, a tiny little bit of cocoa butter is left in the cavity, and I really can polish it super nicely with a microcloth. So that works really well, and you get really nice and shiny and glossy bonbons. If I have a more complicated mold, like with some edges or some swirls or something, and I screwed up a temper and chocolate or color is stuck into my mold, I go in there with a Q-tip, and that cleans it up really nicely as well. Now let's talk about the colors that I have here. So I made these 3 from scratch, and this one here is from Chef Rubber. So this gold is from Chef Rubber, but I also like to use Roxy and Rich if I don't make my colors from scratch. But I have a link down below where you can get them, or how you can make your own colors. Later I want to make a filling with coconut and pineapple, so I thought those are pretty good colors for it. Now they're in liquid stage, so they come solid because of the cocoa butter that is solid at room temperature, and I've melted them for like 2 minutes or so in the microwave. I also have a link down below of a video where I talk about it. And I want to use some sponges today and just going in there with my color. Yeah, and that's the plan. Just as your chocolate, you will need to temper your colors, otherwise they get stuck onto your mold and it's no fun, believe me. So, and this is how I temper my chocolate. So I create cocoa seeds which will temper my colors, or later my chocolate. I also have a link down below if you want to learn more about it, but this is how I temper my chocolate and my colors. I have my cocoa seeds here that I made from scratch, and now I'm grating it very fine. And this is 1% for the whole batch, either of color or chocolate. And I will only do those 9 here because I can't eat so much chocolate, my friends. Alright, putting on some gloves. And I want to start out with the white. And all I'm doing here now, so my cocoa butter is liquid and I'm around 30 degrees Celsius. And now I'm adding the seeds, and I'm just adding, because I don't know exactly how much color I have in there, I'm just adding a pinch, I want to say. And then I'm giving it a good shake. And great, I did it right above my mold. Perfect. Good start. And because I don't want to make a lot of molds, or I will not need a lot of color, I'm just using the lid here. Go in there with my little sponge and just tap here and there. I usually like to start with white, simply because I don't want to mix the white with different colors. And I just do some dabs. Okay, that should be enough. And I'm just rubbing off the sponge. Now let's get in with some yellow. Just exactly the same. I just put in some of the seeds. Now I'm giving it a good shake. And I'm going in there again. And you want to make sure that you turn your mold from time to time, just to make sure that you see all the spots where color is missing. Now I'm going in with my green. And now I actually have to get it a little bit closer, otherwise I will not see what I'm doing. Alright, so that's where we are right now. I'm not so sure anymore about my choice of gold. I think it would be cooler to have a blue. Let me see what kind of blue I have. I actually have this blue moonstone from Chef Rubber. It's really one of my favorite colors from them, so I will use this. And as you can see, I haven't melted it yet, so everything is super solid. So I pop it into the microwave now for 2-3 minutes, and then yeah, we can continue. Alright, I am back, and as you can see, this is all liquid now. If you manage to keep this color under like 30-32 degrees Celsius when melting, then your colors will still be in temper. I'm not great at that, so I will still add a little bit of my silk just to make sure that the color is in temper. Because yeah, I'm not good with like keeping temperatures when melting. So what you can do now is you could either go in with an airbrush just to make sure that all of the spaces where no color is colored. Or you could obviously also just go in again with a sponge. What I like to do, if I have this small amount of cavities, then I'm just adding a little bit of the color in one of the cavities. And I'm just smearing it around with my finger. This is like one of the fastest things to do. And it also gives a little bit of structure, what I like. But yeah, an airbrush will be great as well. But if I don't have to get my airbrush out, I will not. Not a fan. Let's take a look. Not too bad, huh? I like it. I also like the blue. It made me think a little bit about ocean. Yeah, looks cute. And that's it. Now we have colored our mold, and you can see that the color is already setting. But I have to say that my kitchen has like maybe 17-18 degrees Celsius. So if you're doing this during summer, it will not set as fast. Yeah, so but that's a whole other story. But yeah, once your color have set, we move on to the chocolate. Okay, we've done our mold here. Now I have 300 to 400 grams of chocolate here, and now we're going to temper it, and I'm just tempering it exactly as I did with my mold. So link is down below for more detailed description of how to do it. So those are 400 grams of chocolate, and here I have 4 grams of grated silk or seed. I'm just adding it. I just check the temperature, so we're at around 35 degrees Celsius now. Not much to say here. Just stirring it in and let it melt. And I like to use this thermometer here, but we're all set. And now you will need one of these scrapers. And I'm just filling all of the molds and creating the shell with our chocolate. And I have a dark chocolate here. And now I flip it over, give it a little bit of a tap to release all of the excess chocolate and remove it. So here we go. They've been in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes or so. If your room temperature is below, let's say 22 degrees Celsius, then you can also let them set outside of the fridge, especially if you have issues with condensation. Oh wait, one more thing. The chocolate we release to create the shells, don't throw it away. You can reuse this over and over again, and we will reuse this chocolate later to add the last layer of chocolate to cap them. Okay, back to the bonbons. Let's see, I want to show you one. This one here is loose. So this is where we are right now. That's how they look. I think they look cute. Here's a tiny bit of color missing, but yeah, this looks cute. Alright, so that's where we are now, and in the next video we make the filling. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to part 4 of the series. And if you have any questions, as always, leave them down below. Send me a DM on Instagram at Chocolatier. And that's all. Have a good one. Bye.